Hello, welcome to this new moon reading for this week. We have a new moon on April 7th of 2016 and it's at 18 degrees of Aries. So how appropriate. The wind here in New Hampshire is whipping today and I'm out here anyway. Hopefully my camera won't blow over, but this is it, folks. First new moon, Aries, beginning of the zodiac. This is the winds of change. I was like so pumped to do this reading because Aries is all about the I am. It is standing strong on your 2 feet. It is moving ahead. It's having a plan. It's setting forth your passion like never before. This comes from a deeply action-oriented space. So the Sabian symbol for this new moon for 18 degrees of Aries is an empty hammock strung between 2 trees. So the theme here is about the best of both worlds. It's about finding the balance between a sense of groundedness in our lives, but always keeping in mind that the hammock, the inner hammock, is there. For most of us, when we think about a hammock, we think about having all the time in the world to do nothing but just lay around or do what we want to do. It's the ultimate in indulgence to me, anyway. It's a time of being able to really just let yourself be held and trusting that you're going to be held in that hammock. Nobody is going to come up and flip you out of it. The trees aren't going to bend. They're very strong. They aren't going to bend and like send you toppling on your face. You're being held. And so it's a real sense of faith and trust and hope for the future. But I think it's significant that it's a hammock image, which requires 2 very solid objects on either end that are, like I said, not bending in. They're very solid. So what it tells me is that in our lives, we have 2 components. And this could be family / home life / relationships with career. It could be 2 different careers. Whatever that really strong grounding force is for you, those are the trees. And the trick is to trust in the trees that are keeping you grounded and know that you are provided for as you lay in that hammock. It's being able to be in a very busy work or family life, any sense of a chaotic environment maybe, but knowing that the inner hammock is there and that the real sense and feeling of grace comes from being able to get in that hammock, even in the middle of the most crazy situation you can imagine. The hammock is always there. So we have to see that, and that's true grace, is when you can allow yourself to be in that space, even within you, because nobody can touch that. You determine that environment. And as we do that and trust in that hammock with these 2 sense of groundedness, 2 areas of groundedness around us, then good things come. You know, this new moon cycle is all about setting intention, okay, for this next 30-day cycle. So I really want you to focus on coming to that place of inner grace and knowing that those 2, really it's 3 components that need to come together. 2 places of groundedness and figuring out what that is for you, and knowing those are very purposeful. But they offer you this sense of the hammock within, and to allow yourself, even in the midst of either one of those grounded places, to get in the hammock and to know that you're being held, you're being supported, and that those 2 trees, those 2 grounded areas, they're playing into the picture to help you achieve that sense of the hammock, of the being totally provided for in every way, spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally, financially. All aspects are being provided for, okay? So that's the symbology. So I'm going to go over the crystals for those who didn't see the photo that I posted yesterday. These are the choices. Number 1 is this beautiful sea foam Andara, which I got from my beautiful friend Liliana. I just love this. That's choice number 1. Choice number 2 is a citrine. These are all really powerful crystals. I love it. And then this version of the amethyst, and I will get to why this version was chosen, not the other amethyst crystal that I have. Beautiful. So those are the 3 choices, and we're going to get on to the readings now. Here comes the winds of change. And here we go, winds of change. It is crazy wind here today. So for those that chose this beautiful sea foam Andara, I know this definitely to feel like mermaid energy from my beautiful friend Liliana that I got this from. I love this. I love all the crystals I get through her. But when I sat with this and when I've worked with it so far, it's still fairly new to me, I know this to be steward energy. The people that chose this, you are people that have a very important role to play in terms of supporting others, and that can be emotionally, financially, physically, any aspect. And I really want you to do some thinking again about what are those 2 trees, those grounded aspects for you, because it feels important that you recognize and step into the glorious nature of that steward energy, because that's in essence who you are, and there's no shame in that, and there's no pointing the finger at somebody else and saying, but you need to do this, or that's your doing, or whatever, because you play and have accepted a very important role, and it's 2 pieces in your life. So think about what 2 slices of the pie that make up the beautiful you are the steward energy, because those are wanting to be recognized in this new moon cycle, and they're wanting you, there's the urgence to step into them very proudly so, and to be almost, Aries energy is almost in your face, and that's what I like about it. It's very passionate, and you think of the color red with Aries. It's about fire and drive, and I don't really care what anybody else says. This is what I know to be right, because I'm the steward of my life, and I am the steward for these other people, or whatever it is. So do some thinking on what are those 2 trees that hold the hammock for you. So the card that goes with this, and I want to point this out because I love color, isn't this a beautiful combo? And this is the case in all of these card selections. This is from, I think it's called the Angel Oracle. I should have looked that up, by Doreen Virtue. And I haven't used this deck very much, but there was no question that this Andara wanted to be matched with this other one. So for the step into it, people. If you chose this, look at this. This is such a positive, beautiful card. And what I notice, 2 things I notice right away. The sun and the moon, perfectly balanced. You got the whole world in your hands. Like, you got all the aspects working for you. And whatever situation you're in right now, it's to bring out that steward role that you play. And it's both in how you shine your personality, which is the sun. So if you don't know your astrological sign, go to astro.com and fill in your birth information and find out. And then do a little Googling, or let me know if you want to know more about it. What your sun sign is, that's your personality. It's wanting to shine out. And that's piece of this steward role. The other part is the very important under emotional aspect that you play in your life and for others. And because they seem to be coming into balance for you with this cycle, there is this rainbow, 2 rays of rainbow energy coming through. Wow. I want to be the person that drew this. Like, this is great. energy and should be so uplifting to you. I hope it is, because it should be. I mean, you have found yourself in a situation that is perfectly aligned with this steward soul mission piece of the puzzle. So the key to that hammock, and when you find yourself in all these situations that you're like, oh my God, why me? And this again, and things that might frustrate you, that are those two trees, that are the steward energy, the hammock in the middle is realizing that those play an important part of your soul mission. And to realize that the support you need, that very hammock, is coming to you in every moment. And I don't say that lightly. I don't say that lightly because I get how hard it is here. I know we struggle. And I don't take those words lightly. So please know that your team is saying here, we support you, we honor you, we cherish you, and please just wrap yourself around this seafoam green Andhra of the steward. Like you're like the mermaids of the sea who look over all the creatures and all of the environment, and they make sure that everything's okay. And if anything is coming in that is threatening in any way, they find a way to very gently let it pass out to sea, to divert it, to redirect a conversation, to redirect a part of the journey. You are that, okay? If you chose the second crystal, this is the beautiful citrine. That was very clear. This is about abundance. This is about ability to make money. This is ability to provide for any area of your life. Those that chose this card, you either are in a place where you live in the hammock naturally, you know what your trees are, you have a sense of where you contribute, because this is the citrine is very grounded wisdom. And I just want to say that it's, just keep trusting and believing in this new moon cycle. Step into just continuing to embrace that. There's a continuation energy that it feels like. And if you don't feel abundant right now, if you chose this, to know that that hammock is waiting for you to get into it. But that only comes through trust and faith that you have an undercurrent of abundance that is always there. It never leaves. This is like the sun. It is just constantly shining. Even if there's clouds, there's always sun there somewhere. And it's just waiting for the break to happen. So in either case, to just the real message for you in this new moon cycle is to recognize and embrace that abundance in all areas of life. And the card selection, again, looking at this combo, it's a beautiful combo. The Soul Coaching deck by Denise Lynn came forward for you, and it is the Awakening card. You, those who chose citrine, are somebody who is awakening to the divine grace. Things are flowing, and I hope that you're seeing that in your life, because if you're not, then this is your call to embrace it with that Aries passion, like I will have it. And you are recognizing that the flow is just happening. You barely have to do anything, and things just happen. They just fall into place. It's the perfect scenarios, the perfect timing. Things are just happening. This card says, I am joyously awake and aware and ready for anything. There's a really adventurous spirit about this. You're ready for adventure. It almost feels more like Sagittarius to me. And it's part of it is the yellow is your solar plexus. You're very strong, and that's why this is an undercurrent for you, this yellow citrine energy. You're very strong in your solar plexus, your gut, like knowing what's the right thing to do, what's the wrong thing to do, and you take action. That's the thing, you know, with the gut. You read it and you go. And the other thing that I'm drawn to in this card is the blue butterfly. And that shows that you read the gut, but then you respond with the throat chakra, which is about speaking your truth and owning your creativity and stepping out into something new, because that's the butterfly energy, transformation. Stepping into something new when it feels right, and knowing if you get there and you're feeling like, ooh, this little tulip, it actually looked like a bird to me when I looked at it, but I see that it's a tulip. That solar plexus, which I'm seeing as a bird, is chirping at you saying, hey, this doesn't feel right. And then you turn to the butterfly and you listen to, what is my voice? What is my take on this? And then you go and you try something different. So you know that the world is an endless series of experiences. Those who chose this, it feels very adventurous. And that's what you're being encouraged to think about with the tree and the hammock, is the adventure of what you see when you lay in the hammock and you look up at the sky. What forms when you think about the next set of dreams, because the energy flow is really strong for you. So don't be afraid to take a moment to lay in that hammock, to imagine that energy of the laying in the hammock and taking the time to do that, because you got a lot of energy and you do a lot, I can tell. But to take the time and to say, okay, where do I go from here? What's the next adventure? Because I've kind of conquered this one and I'm wondering what's next. And that's so Aries, like boom, out we go. We're just going to go for it. And what's next? There's always something next. But to know that no matter what you do, the abundant current is there for you. For those that chose this beautiful amethyst, beautiful, and look at the sparkle on that, this cluster. I have another amethyst that is finely cut and is buffed and very polished, I would say. And my dowsing led me definitely to this cluster here. And notice this rough underside. It's like we've dug this out from the earth, which all crystals are, but this one has been left with its underpinnings. And then we've got this gorgeous, it's like what you would find in a crystal cave, you know, but we've just chopped a little piece out of that. So what I'm getting for sure, for those that chose this is about your trees, like really honoring the underpinnings and the basis, the foundation of who you are, honoring that and knowing that it's okay to embrace that very groundedness, the earth, the need to provide, to honor where you've come from and where you're going, but to know that you feed the earth and you're part of the earth. And yet knowing this is what's when you crack it open, this is what's inside, which is pure divinity. It's pure divinity. Amethyst is all about that crown chakra and just absolute divine intervention and divine knowledge and wisdom being innate to who you are, which it is to all of us. But this theme is wanting to come up for you that chose this month in this new moon cycle. So for you, the two trees are really important and really key to the storyline, because we have this, earth crust, if you will, that is necessary in order to allow that divine guidance to shine through in these many facets. So I'm also feeling called to say that it could be that you end up with many options of how to shape that hammock. The trees might end up being pretty solid and clear, but the hammock might take many different forms, and it might be many things together. And there's also a sense that, maybe, yeah, I'm almost seeing like, with a hammock, there's generally, like if you think about a rope hammock, there's all these holes. And I'm not seeing them as the holes, I'm seeing them as these facets. That there's all of this knowledge that bumps up, or all of these people that you connect with, that it's constantly bringing out new divine wisdom. Okay, it's the fact that there can be two components. Think about this, the two components that keep you very grounded, and they are the underpinnings that are important for you to get to this place of the knowledge within that is innate, but it has many facets, and each of these crystals has many facets to it. Okay? So even one piece of knowledge that comes through, or epiphany or download or whatever you want to call it, just seeing a sign and like wondering, oh, I wonder what that's about. There can be many facets to that piece of knowledge, and just being aware and being open, but to recognize that there's going to be many different things and possibly many options coming at you over the next 30 days, okay? And it's almost, I feel like, this is crazy, but like accept them all and know that they are bringing you knowledge or bringing you connection with other people or into situations. It's the universe is offering you a lot right now, but that there's this hard crust bedrock that is necessary in order to allow that. Okay, so the card, and I'm showing this for all the cards, yours is from the Angel Tarot, and I love this color combo too. They go together perfectly, very much third eye and crown chakra, and it's the release. This is release, the end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation, time to move on. This could not be more perfectly timed for this new moon cycle, because it's the first new moon of the new zodiac year in very passionate, fiery, driven Aries. And it's like stepping into it and not looking back, and to know that there might be many opportunities coming up in various facets of life. I mean, look at how much abundance and choice we have here. Take it. Take it, take it, take it. If it feels right to you, take it, take it, take it, take it. All right? I feel like there's going to be so much coming up that don't say no to anything unless it doesn't feel right. I mean, use your gut as your guide, but to know that you're ending a cycle and you're starting new, and you really need a lot of energy and power and punch to make that happen, and that the hammock in a way starts to fill itself in. It goes from many holes into this beautiful fine fabric, because you're starting to make choices and you're starting to step into it and say, okay, I know I've got this bedrock that I need to lay down, because I'm going to have all these choices that are coming, and to just trust that then all those holes get filled in, and you can then down the line be really in a place to lay on that hammock without any need of worry of one knot coming out of the rope, what was once a rope hammock. To really trust in the fact that there's going to be a lot coming your way. Okay, that's why they led me to this crystal. Many choices. So I hope you all have a great new moon cycle. This is a lot of power, and it's fun, and it's driven, and it's so positive. So please go forth and do this. Okay, this is warrior energy. This is stepping into it and not looking back and saying, yep, I'm doing that. Yep, that feels right. I'm going for it. And if for some reason you want more information about for your specific situation, I do offer new moon readings. You can visit my website at callofthewildenergytherapy.com and look under the specials page. I think it's on. But this just gives you the theme in this general reading of what's coming up for you. Have a great month ahead.